Come on. There it goes. Bam.
This is Michael Kasper, and you're watching the Break It Down show.
How many times a week do you get told you don't know ball on X?
Pretty much countless. Almost every post I make, there's somebody, you've never played at a high level. You don't know ball.
You're a scrapper though, Mike. You like getting into that.
I do. I really enjoy it. Like I think I enjoy it too much.
It's fun sometimes.
I think I jump into it and just like set myself up for it. Yeah. There's a reason I haven't changed my profile picture. I know people are gonna make fun of me for looking like a nerd, but I'm kind of just ready for it at this point.
Yeah,
I enjoy it almost too much.
Yeah, I know. I try to be pretty nice and patient with people, probably to a fault. And then every now and then, Brian will come in off the top rope.
That's the internet, dude.
It's funny, but I do appreciate it because I'm trying to be nice here. You guys are using up all my nice points today, and you're good at that. Brian, how often do you get told that you don't know ball?
All the time.
Sometimes by me.
Yeah, I'm like Michael though. I like it. I like it when Mike tells me I'm stupid.
What is Brian stupid about?
Oh, nothing. I can't even think of any examples. I know we had butted heads like 2 or 3 years ago, probably, but I can't think of anything recently that we've like had a long. I think part of it too is like if I'm gonna spend a really long amount of time on some kind of debate online on Twitter or whatever, I like to only take the ones where I can kind of like numerically, objectively prove that I'm right. Like there was that one guy who was trying to argue that home runs are not any more valuable than singles.
Yeah,
that's a nice one to. It's like, okay, I will spend a lot of time on this because I know that I know that everybody's going to be on my side.
Yeah. It is crazy. Like I wrote recently about just some parity numbers for baseball, and I made a little post about it. You guys can look it up. Who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah, I saw that.
But I mean, when you're looking at 30 years, why 30? Well, there's 30 teams, and so that's why you go back 30 years. Just like these simple principles are disdainful to people, and they say, well, not that kind of parity, the other kind of parity, and we're passionate about salary floors and ceilings, but really, that's the player's business. In my mind, I mean, sure, have an opinion about it, but to deny that actual numbers of parity, 16 teams have broken or have won the World Series in the last 30 years. That's pretty good. That's pretty good parity.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it for basketball? Like a lot, like probably not as many.
Yeah, probably not as many. Yeah, and it's not easy to win the World Series. So then you look at how many teams have made the LCS, and it's 26. Mm-hmm. 26. That's damn near every team,
Yeah.
And 22 teams have been to the World Series. Come the fuck, like how much parity can you jam into that hole? That's a tight hole to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you think about stuff like that when they talk about parity and you want a salary cap and stuff. It just kind of makes you think like back through history, like what's true and what's like people don't know anything. People generally don't know anything about collusion. People pretty much have forgotten what the reserve clause is. You know what I mean? You just look back and like Bud Selig's in the Hall of Fame, dude. All the stuff Bud Selig pulled, dude. And you just like the victors write history. You know what I mean? Look at the PED era, man. And then you just see stuff like that today, and you think, wow, back then, what's true and what's been brushed under the rug.
Yeah. I mean, we have strong opinions as a body of fans about the PED players. We don't even know what a PED player is. We know a lot of people use them, but we maybe can name 8 people. 8? Is it 8? Is it 10? It's 8 that we're mad about, and all the other hundreds of players that supposedly use them, nobody cares.
They've kind of been swept under the rug.
Yeah, and like when people are talking about there's not enough parity. And we need a salary cap because there's not enough parity, blah, blah, blah. Like, but it's really not like that. So like what else in history really isn't like that? Like it wasn't viewed like that at the time.
The Mets spent a lot of money to zero. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The Dodgers were basically 1 out away from losing the World Series. And it almost ends the parity conversation. I don't remember where the Blue Jays were at in payroll, but I'm thinking they were like mid-tier around like 15th, 16th.
Yeah. The Rays they battled the Dodgers hard. I mean, they're just a couple of small things away. I think was it a Rosarena Marmol? One of those guys tried to steal home, and Kershaw
It was
nailed it.
normal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and by not even an index finger, and that could change the whole game if you leave Snell in. I mean, these aren't big difference, and they barely beat the Braves in 2020.
Mm.
Sorry to bring that up, Michael.
No, it's all good.
But that was a close series,
Yeah, it was.
And there's lots of teams that are competitive, and at the same time, the Dodgers have always treated their people extremely well. I mean, they're notorious for that going back to the 60s. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not a new thing for them. What they're doing isn't a new thing for them. They're in Los Angeles. They're the Dodgers. They've been a national brand since World War II. Boys of summer, dude. They're not. What do you want them to do?
Mm. Yeah, they've also hugely invested in analytics, biomechanics, that type of stuff. I saw a while ago there was a Dodgers analytics job opening, and some people in the comments were making fun of it. Like, do the Dodgers need more nerds? It's like they just won back-to-back World Series. You can't critique their process for working.
Yeah. Why don't we see more people hiring Dodger executives away?
Probably because they treat them so good.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you do your job. They go out and they find the guy you want. Like, hey, this kid, Michael Kasper, sucks unless he throws his slider at this speed with this spin rate. Then we think he's useful. Yeah. And they'll ink anybody to a contract for any length of time. And these are I'm using you as an example, but any player, you should see how many on the 40-man pitching roster from the last 2 seasons. How many guys are just waiver guys that were there for a short amount of time? How often do the Dodgers just punt a game and say, this game's not going to be important, bring in Kasper to throw, and then hit you, and then Kike and somebody else will just eat the innings. And they I've never seen a baseball team that's that good just punt a game away. Like and it's not that they're not fighting. They're like, hey, this game, we're not going to spend any resources on this game now at this point. Mm-hmm. It's a loss.
But then they'll take that wasted time and use it to give good quality reps to those pitchers they're working out, basically. Those waiver guys, those kind of washed up guys, and they've had a lot of success doing it.
Yeah, they reliably find guys like Tony Watson, Anthony Banda. I mean, you can name Phil Bickford, and they turn him into something, at least temporarily, and then they leave, and they're like, yeah, we use that guy, and people would line up for those jobs. Any team can do these things.
Didn't most of those guys come over to the Dodgers from the Rays?
Sure.
Didn't a good chunk of those guys? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Friedman had his eye on those guys, right? He's like, these guys are good, and there's probably a good relationship there.
Was Friedman in Tampa? Michael, do you know, Friedman was in Tampa, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
That's where he was. That's where he got hired away from.
Yeah.
So when he came over, he's like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure our minor league team is constantly producing talent so we can promote and reap and bring new people in as needed. And then we're going to do this. And then exactly like he's the guy who did a 5-year plan and it actually worked.
Yeah. Remember when? Do you remember when A-Rod got traded to the Red Sox and MLB blocked it?
Yes.
Why can't they just make a couple of those guys go work for the Reds? It sounds crazy, but if you want to make teams better, why can't you just be like, hey, you gotta go work for these guys. We'll give you an extra $500,000, $1 million. Add it to your resume, dude.
Yeah,
I think you've got to also force ownership of those teams to spend money, though. I think a lot of the problems are deeper. It's not that if you kind of keep going up the stack of problems, it all comes back to owners aren't willing to spend money on players and on executives.
Yeah,
and on facilities.
How about MLB said that they were going to I wouldn't know how to say it. They were going to democratize analytics, and then they forgot to file something on the deadline.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, I saw Michael posted it. There was a deadline because remember they did that thing with the data.
Yeah. Where
every team has to have access to so much data or something like that, and then MLB didn't file the paperwork by the deadline.
Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago. I think I was just retweeting the actual like report about it. But yeah, they completely dropped the ball on that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what
Formula
they're
One.
doing.
Oh yeah, I don't either. Formula One does something like that where they limit development time. Like you have to at some point sort of pick what you're going to do, and you have a pot of money to spend. It's not limiting the money they spend on drivers, but it's like wind tunnel time. And if you want to get your car into the wind tunnel, you only have so much, and so that all eats into the money that you're allowed to put into like next year's or this year's development, and you have to make hard decisions about it. Doesn't impact the drivers, doesn't impact the employees, but it does impact the limitless budgets that can happen in something like F1. Or maybe there's something like that where, you know, the analytics are just commonly shared. You know, you have some level of IP, you're able to retain anything beyond this amount. It's open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if you just make it so that all the biometric data, all the like pitch by pitch practice data, I know the Dodgers are tracking a lot. I think they're probably on the cutting edge of the biomechanics in a way that a lot of teams aren't.
Yeah.
If you in order to do that, you'd have to require every team to basically track the same stuff, and then require every team to publicize it. But that does kind of level the playing field. It becomes about what you can do with the data, not just what all you're collecting.
Yeah, interesting. You know, when we try to time machine players, we don't realize how incapable modern players are of simply just playing the game. Dugout, no electricity, no comms internally, maybe a phone down to the bullpen, but that's it. That's all you get. They had to break the game today. These guys would struggle to do it. No iPad, no video. Just go out and play like you had to play like in 1974. It'd be a different game.
Yeah, it would be.
I honestly think modern guys would adjust to anything. I think guys from like 1870, if you put them in a dugout now, they'd be like, well, look at this. You can see what you hit.
It'd blow their mind.
They'd be like, oh, cool. It's not that like, the technology's not like that crazy.
I don't know, man. I mean, they're able to work out and see like how to rotate their hand and how to prone, you know, all these things. There's quite a bit of technology in there. I know they tried this with one stage of the Tour de France, and the riders lost their minds.
Yeah.
They couldn't handle it. They couldn't not have the. I mean, just imagine if you just couldn't have your phone for a week when you played baseball. You thought, what the fuck? You'd lose your mind. I mean, look, could they adapt? Sure. And would the guy from 1880 just want to drop gloves and fight everybody all day and be drunk all the time? Probably. You know, there'd be some growth, but yeah,
I don't think that's been bred out.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that's been bred out.
How many fights are there in a baseball season on a team? What's the over under?
Oh, I don't know, dude. On the field,
2 to 3?
They've really gone away.
Are we talking in practice fights, like when when someone got slapped over fantasy football, or are we talking like team on team brawls?
I think it's in anything, intra and inter, when someone's like, no, this has reached a point where there has to be some physicality, you know.
There's got to be at least one a year per team.
Oh my god, you'd think.
Yeah.
Was it Jock Peterson that got slapped over fantasy football? So somebody got slapped over fantasy football. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. I mean, you don't always hear about it, but someone's always smashing somebody's something, you know, their boombox or whatever it is. These kind of things get after people after a while.
Harper said in his interview today he wishes there was more fights.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Some dudes need punching in the mouth. I mean, that's just a real thing.
There's a lot of pent up aggression out there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're also around those guys for like 8 straight months. Every single day you're traveling, you're doing everything. Like if somebody's annoying you, it's going to build up.
Yeah. What did you guys make of the chart that I posted with the very non-aggressive amount of hits, runs, and walks over that 30-year time window? Did you guys pull any impressions away from that? I was kind of shocked to see how flat that line was. Is that just the normal pace of play? What? Any thoughts on that?
There's still been kind of a big drop from like 2004. I mean, it looks like it's about 1,500 in 2004, and then it's about 1,300. I mean, that's still. I think part of the reason it looks so flat is just the y-axis is pretty skinny. Like that.
Mhm.
That's like a 200 run per year. Now, is this runs per team? Yeah. There's got to be
That's average team runs.
average team. Okay, yeah. And sorry, I was looking at hits, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense that hits have kind of been steadily dropping.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize they dropped quite as much as that.
Yeah, dropping from 1,500 to 1,300 in a 20-year span, but there's not been any change in runs, and that's kind of exactly the analytics
Right.
trade-off is you don't have to get as many hits if you make the hits count more.
Yeah.
Yeah, get extra bases.
Yeah.
Walks have gone down too, or is it about the same? I forget the chart. Let me look at it. Pull it up here.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but it shocked me how steadily batting average made up like 78% of on-base percentage throughout the years. It seems like that's pretty standard. I haven't looked that deeply into it, but
Yeah.
that's one thing I noticed. Surprised the heck out of me. But you generally don't really notice it that much, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's only a couple of hits here and there. And like you said, Pete, the difference between a great player and a mediocre player can only be as much as 2 hits a week.
Right.
And you generally don't notice that until it all adds up at the end.
The one thing I noticed too, going into the so those highs of like 1,500 hits, they didn't sustain those things, and so you had 1,500, I don't know, 4 times in right around 6 years, 7 years, something like that, and all
that's
of
like
that
peak PED years too, 94 through 2002.
I think more importantly, it was peak expansion years because you gain 2 teams in 93, you gain a whole roster slot, which ends up being an extra team in 95 when they settle the strike and lockout. And then you have 2 more teams expand. So you're talking at least 5 teams of expansion during that time. That's a lot of dilution of talent that has to be dealt with in some way. And so, yes, PEDs, but also how many new ballparks? Tons of new ballparks. Got rid of turf. A lot of things changed.
Yeah,
expansion's a big deal. Big deal. I mean, Roger Maris hit his 61 home runs in an expansion year. All those pitchers started going crazy from the late 60s to the early 80s. You saw all those crazy pitching, complete game numbers and stuff, and innings pitched. That was all in the midst of huge expansion. The 90s, ball jumping off, expansion.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the thing here on the walks too. So there were a lot of walks in 2000, 600 walks for the average team. And then that's the only year that happened.
Is that including intentional walks?
You know what? I don't recall what I did. I would imagine so.
Because you could attribute some of that bump to Bonds.
For sure.
just
to him solely.
Yeah. If you think about 30 teams and 200 hits in a season, how many hits is that? I'm not doing the math right now. But for the average team, that's just not a lot of hits. Is it a lot of hits? I don't know.
9.31 hits a game in 2000, 8.26 last year.
Yeah.
But that's pretty high. There's nothing even close to that after 2000. They're all low 9s. But it's still basically 100. Still basically 1 hit per game less.
There still aren't teams scoring 1,000 runs. Even though we're trying to get on base more, focusing on it more, we're getting more strikeouts. So I don't know. It was surprising to me how uninteresting that was in terms of, for all this attention on like how we pitch and everything. Still 1,335-ish innings to cover in a season, and only so many outcomes can happen.
And the pitching and hitting have really kind of they've been improving at the same rate. So I always think it's funny when people try to judge the quality of the game by like, oh, there's fewer runs being scored now, or therefore the players must be worse. It's like, no, that's the pitching is also getting better. The hitting, they're both getting better.
Yeah,
and
defense
over a large period of time, it's at roughly the same rate. But yeah, you'll have some years where one just advances ahead of the other.
And I'm saying the defense got better. The ability to position someone has gotten better. I don't know if the
Yes,
defenders individually
drastically.
have gotten better. Right.
Yeah, pitching was definitely way ahead in the early part of the teens. Remember all those no hitters, the year of the pitcher, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pitching was way ahead.
And then like 21 and 22, you had the juice ball and no spider tack anymore, so it kind of swings back towards hitting. Yeah, I think Pete, I think that's something that doesn't get talked about even remotely close to enough is how drastically over the last decade defensive positioning has improved. That's something that probably that every team's leveraging pretty well. So there's going to be a lot more. There's just going to be a much lower batting average on balls in play when every single defensive alignment is specifically calibrated to not just that batter, but that batter and that pitcher. Like the combination of
too.
Of that pitcher's tendencies, that hitter's tendencies.
Right.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, I recall when I lived at Wrigley Field watching Corey Patterson, and the teams would pitch him and set up the fielding without all the modern stuff in a way that they expected him to try to pull everything. So they knew that he would most likely flare the ball to the left side of the infield when he mishit it on the ground. And so those guys kind of stayed home. But the outfield just rotated over towards right field, and he gladly obliged every single time because that was the level of player that he was. And so that improved by any measure since then. 10%, that's a big difference.
Yeah, you'd think removing the shift would have done a little bit more, but it really didn't. That's pretty interesting too.
And I think that's a testament to the effectiveness of some of the positioning metrics and some of the just the stuff they're able to do with so much more data is like you can take out the shift and it still hasn't really noticeably impacted batting average on balls in play, stuff like that.
And it gets deeper still. We're talking about the basic level stuff. There was a while when the A's were gobbling up guys like Chris Davis who pounded low fastballs because the league was trying to pound the bottom of the zone. So they went out and grabbed those guys, and to some level of impact, they did pretty well with that because, like, hey, you're going to throw low, but we're going to get guys that golf the ball out of the yard, and they did that. So there's all these individual subcategories where, again, you're looking for Phil Bickford to throw a certain pitch to a certain count because we know where to put everybody in the lineup within a 85% probability to hit the ball in that space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes you think kind of about Pujols' decline, like having to deal with defenders shifted in a way you've never seen before, at a rate you've never seen before, trying to figure all that out. That's something people don't talk about, but guys in that era had a lot to deal with on that front.
In that chart, I try to list things that I could think of. I didn't think about spider tack, but yeah, that makes a big difference. Also, when the strike zone was notably changed, like when they're like, hey, we're changing the strike zone again. So I put those in there. And, look, you're not finding a single variable, but some of these matter. Obviously PEDs help players be stronger and stay on the field more until they don't. we never talk about the deleterious effect of steroids and Jose Canseco trying to run over his wife in his car. Or Barry Bonds ripping his muscle off his tendon or whatever he did to his elbow tricep area, right? Like these things are also negative in terms of hitting the ball. Anyhow, a lot of factors to figure.
Mm-hmm. I saw a post a couple of weeks ago about, or maybe just in the last week, but it was showing just strike zone accuracy over time, and it was showing just how much umps have improved, like since the early 2000s to right now. It is actually it was astonishing how accurate the umps are calling the zones now. That's another thing that makes a huge difference in run scoring and things like that. Seeing that chart almost made me like, I don't know if we need ABS. Like it was so astonishing, the performance improvement over the last 30 years of umps.
That is remarkable, and you do wonder, like, do we need more robots in the game? And I would say no, because I quit watching football in part because I no longer knew what a catch was, and they would super zoom in on the ball and the millimeter, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. I was watching a game, and it's like we can't handle any adversity in the game anymore. Sometimes bad calls are made. Most of the time they aren't. And it's incredible at the speed of the game, but they get them right so often. I mean, how many times have we seen something super zoomed in baseball? No, guy had it right the whole time. They do miss calls, but is it the end of the world? I don't know. I don't know what that's worth.
I like the missed calls. Keeps things interesting. I don't mind it. I don't even like replay, to be honest with you. Get it wrong. I don't get it wrong. I don't care if the Phillies have a bad break, whatever. It's life.
That's life, yeah.
But
yeah.
I ain't the way it's going.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I don't mind it too much, but I want it to be fast. I don't want it to interfere with the flow of the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Basketball's crazy.
Yeah. You get 60 seconds to figure it out. Maybe 30. That's it. And if you haven't figured out play stance, let's keep going. Keep the ball moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is interesting to you, Michael, in terms of like numbers or news? What else is going on?
So players are winning all their arbitration cases recently, which is I think that's awesome. I don't remember the exact decimal numbers, but I know Skeens filed for around Scooble filed for around 34 million, and the Tigers filed for like 19 million, and he ended up winning, which is fantastic. I think it would have been a shame to pay the back-to-back Cy Young winner $19 million a year. So I think that's kind of cool. I think that's a good win for the players, for the players union, and a loss for owners who don't want to pay players.
Is this a strategy by the owners to come in and end up on the wrong side of all these decisions, or is this just it's rare to see these things. We had a long time when we never went deep into the hearing process, right? Like we normally built out got a contract, but we're having a lot more of this contention. Is that by design by the owners?
I'm not really sure. I think that's more just a function of the fact that everything is reported on and publicized now. I'm not sure it's necessarily gotten more contentious. It's just we're all so desperate for news of everything that the media is going to report on everything they can.
The arbitration is weird.
Yeah, it seems crazy to me that they're going to take, they're going to take their star player before a panel of third party arbitrators and say, like, I understand you won back-to-back Cy Youngs. Here's a list of all the reasons you're worth $19 million a year. It's such a weird process that you're just gonna tear down your star player for an entire day, trying to prove to him why you don't think he's worth much of anything.
Yeah.
That's one of the arbitrations. Actually, one of the reasons first sabermetrician Craig Wright, the Rangers hired him. He was worried he's going to get fired because they couldn't find anything for him to do. And then he helped him set up to file arbitration cases, and he was winning all the arbitration cases for him because of all the numbers he had. He was just mowing through people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owners are. I would assume the owners don't like arbitration. That'd be my guess. I think the players push for the third-party arbitrator.
So they must feel confident they're going to win. Otherwise, you would settle more, right?
It's way better than what was going on before, which was you just basically at the owner's discretion.
Yeah. So we think that the owners are making more money then, that they have more purse strings, and they're trying to unnaturally tamp down salaries. Is that what's going on?
No, I don't think that's why. I don't think that's why arbitration came about. I think the players felt like arbitration was protecting them within that window. You could argue for a higher salary because teams have control of you for 5 years.
Yeah.
And if you can't negotiate your salary, you're just gonna have the same salary every year. So having that third party arbitrator, you can go there and get your salary upped. Otherwise, he would have no recourse to make the Tigers pay him higher.
Yeah,
he'd be getting $19 million no matter what.
Yeah, even though he's the best pitcher in the game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of risk.
Or at least in the American League
involved too. For the American League, where there's a lot of risk involved in the arbitration process for both the team and the player, because cut to Tarek Skubal blowing his arm out tomorrow. I mean, this is all the time. So Tarek needs to protect his arm, And you would think that Tigers would want to have him happy and wanting to stay, but he's probably leaving. I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough problem to solve. Is how do you deal with all of that early time when you have to kind of pay the dues to get into the free agent system? I mean, the players have always tried to compress that time or improve that situation, but baseball teams seem bent on destroying careers as fast as they possibly can because that's the way the game is played, and the players seem to not care about that.
Not really.
Yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do to make it to the majors.
Yeah. Do any of you guys know what's the average career length right now? Is it still like 2.5 to 4 years?
I thought it was around 2-ish.
2-ish. Yeah. So most of the guys aren't getting paid anyhow.
Yeah.
If they even get to arbitration, right? Like they're going to get those low pay controlled years. Although, the base pay for the first year guy, what is it, $750,000, something like that right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah. What do you think the players want to try to do next year? What are they going to go after? They're pretty good at winning these things. So what are they going to ask for?
I saw Bryce Harper on the podcast he was on today, and football players said, "Wow, you guys don't have a salary cap. That's pretty crazy." And he laughed and he said, "Yeah, we're never gonna. Not gonna happen."
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, dude. It's gonna be they're gonna go to war for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna
That's the thing. Everybody wants them to have them, but they're like, no thanks, and that's been the hard line.
Do you think they're gonna pursue a salary floor? The players?
No.
I think those have to go together. They don't want.
I think it's just a gateway to the cap. I think they know that.
Yeah.
I think Bryce Harper would be a better lawyer for the union than friggin' Tony Clark was.
You definitely need a hard ass, that's for sure.
But it's up to me, dude. Bryce Harper would be managing the Phillies, commissioner of baseball. So I'm biased.
Could a player ever be a commissioner? Is that even possible?
No, the owners would never let that happen.
Like an active player or a former player?
No, not an active player.
That seems like a little bit of a conflict of interest.
Yeah. No, but like a former player, someone who's retired, I don't think
it's cocking the hen out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think the owners are going to want somebody that's first and foremost on their side.
Yeah, nice and slimy like Bud Selig.
Yeah. I mean, you need someone who knows how to do business, right? You have to have someone who knows how to open up foreign markets, whatever it is. Like, it's got to be a real business person to manage the business of baseball.
Yeah.
Football's trying to go international, right? They kind of had a couple of
huge
challenges.
Push for international,
right? Is it going to work?
I think it's working. I mean, I think the Bad Bunny Super Bowl show was a good part of that push. I mean, they've been. It seems to me like they've been pushing for Latin America pretty heavily, and it seems like it's working. I think the NFL they have rightly understood that they've sort of already captured the North American market. And if they're going to hit diminishing returns on continuing to market domestically simply because football's already so popular here. So they know that if they want to expand, they got to go for the Latin American market and the European market. You got 700 million people in Europe, 420-ish in South America.
Yeah, it's expensive to put together a youth football team, though. The NFL better be ready to fund that stuff. They better be ready to send equipment down there because they ain't going to be able to afford it.
Yeah. There's a reason it's so easy to play soccer. There's a reason so many people in so many countries do it.
Yeah.
They're playing
it's going to be tough to compete with footy.
Yeah.
That is really tough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The NFL's playing 16 international games though this year. Which is I think they played like 7 or 8 this past year. And they're playing in I think every continent except Antarctica.
Antarctica. They had a whole international
that one makes sense,
right? And so I don't know that it's going to make much of a difference. I mean, yeah, to do it every now and then, it's a good spectacle, kind of how baseball does. But there's a reason why baseball isn't totally expanded out to London or Mexico City. That shit is hard to figure out. And I appreciate the NFL wanting to do that and stay relevant. But they compete with Mr. Beast, who kicks their ass every time he puts a show out. And so at some point you do reach diminishing returns. Can they get it to a hold in Latin America? Maybe. Not a lot of people in Latin America that need that kind of thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've already
Gosh,
got
what are you going to charge? Yeah, go ahead.
you already got soccer that's so enthroned in Europe and in Latin America. How do you topple that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch football anymore, so I don't really care about it. But I definitely know how challenging that is to break in. Yeah.
Have you been seeing
and NFL prices? Oof.
Yeah.
Have you seen the? I guess for I'll be critical of it. Have you seen the little boys that teams are signing that are like 11 years old, 12 years old? They're ridiculous.
It's okay in soccer or no?
It's not. I don't think it's okay anywhere.
Okay.
It's pretty young.
Yeah.
Because there's that kid that the Phillies just canceled the contract with, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but he had a deal with them and it fell through somehow, and he was like 11.
Yeah, 11.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that kind of thing does happen in soccer, but all the big soccer clubs have like established youth academies. Like if you go play for Barcelona as a kid, you play for the Barcelona youth soccer program, where you're representing their team in their actual academy. Whereas baseball doesn't really have that. So to be signing, if you're signing kids at like 11, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think you can be that confident that kid's going to be worth it. That you're going to put $1 million on the line.
Yeah, kid got to be like 16.
Yeah.
Then you start to kind of know. And then you're old enough where you're 16. It's like,
how do you guys like next year? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
I was going to say, how good do you have to be at 11 compared to other 11-year-olds that an MLB team's going to pay you $1 million to sign with them? I mean, that's like, I don't even know what that looks like. I don't know how
11 is so young too.
Yeah,
like you've not even really gotten into puberty yet. Like you're there, but you're not. Like how many 11-year-olds are like the biggest dude in their league and wind up being 5'6"?
Yeah, and they're only good because of the size, because of the athleticism or something like that. And then give them a few more years, and when skill and not just raw athleticism is a differentiator, they can't keep up.
Yeah.
We had dudes that could dunk a basketball in middle school. This is back in the 1980s, by the way, and most of those guys didn't even play high school ball. They were great at jumping up in the one setting, but that was it. You put them on a team and they weren't any good. And that's for the most part older than 11-year-olds, because these weren't sixth graders doing this. These were the eighth graders doing it, right? So, how do you project baseball at age? I mean, some guys are great and they're playing well above their age, but they still have to go through all that growth, physical growth, to maintain something.
Yeah. I remember I read Bryce Harper when he was 11. He went to a tournament with like 14, 15-year-olds. Came home and his parents asked how he did, because they had to send him off by himself because they had to go to work. He said, I did pretty good. And the coach called him and said, did Bryce tell you how he did? And he said, yeah, I said he did good. The coach goes, he went 11 for 12 with 11 home runs and a double. Something like that. And they were like, whoa, kid's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe at that point you can sign that kid for $1 million.
Start thinking about it.
At least some kind of a development deal, right? Make sure that he gets to keep playing and get in front of his coaches. But shit, I don't even know. I mean, there's all kinds of guys that flame out like that. Most of them will, right? Maybe it's worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Pete, you ever hear of Steve Dalkowski? I saw some people talking about him the other day.
Sure. Yeah. And
no video.
Like crazy to fix him. No video.
Just no video of him.
Just hucking balls against batting cages over the damn church.
Yeah.
Boy, only throwing 85 miles an hour, though, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
Just throwing 85. A gentle, easy batting practice. Yeah. Who's what teams, what players are interesting for you guys this year? Who are you looking forward to seeing?
I'm high on the Tigers and I'm high on the Orioles. I think with Pete Alonso. I mean the Orioles had kind of a down year last year, but it wasn't really for like kind of like we were talking about earlier. Like it wasn't really for a specific reason. They just kind of didn't get it together. And I think you add Pete Alonso to that team, you kind of allow them to just. I mean, I don't want to call it bad luck, but like they just had some kind of unexplained regression. So you allow a little bounce back from that. You add Pete Alonso to that team. I think they're going to be pretty good. Really excited to watch Verlander, Skubal, and Framber Valdez on the Tigers. They've got a really interesting pitching situation going there.
Yeah, got a lot of good young hitters too.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good young hitters. That's an exciting team. What about the Indians? I mean, sorry, the Guardians. I'm going to keep calling them the Indians for my life, I think. How about the Guardians? Do you think that they can be competitive again this year?
I think so. I mean, they've got such a good talented group of young guys that I think they're always going to manage to be competitive. I really like Stephen Vogt. I think he's a great manager. I think he's a guy. I mean, we saw this proved last year. He's a guy that guys will play hard for. And as much as I love analytics, as much as I love data, there's a lot of value in a manager that guys are going to play hard for.
Yeah, now more than ever, if anything, I think. Yeah, Cleveland's just always hanging around. They're always going to be hanging around, it seems like, my whole life.
They're never going to be great, but they're never going to be terrible either.
Yeah.
You think the Guardians move Quan this year if they aren't competitive?
I guess I think it's a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to know.
Yeah, it's tough to know. I mean, I think anything's possible, but I don't think they're gonna not be competitive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, a couple injuries early on, and all of a sudden you're, 2 games off the pace, 3 games a month, and all, it can catch up fast. And the Royals,
that's where they were last year. I mean, they were like 15 games back in September.
Yeah. But nothing valuable happened. Nothing valuable got the Guardians back into the race. I'm hard on everybody who just picks a player. And that's the most valuable, and you don't even discuss the Brewers or the Guardians or anybody else who had incredible years. It's funny. Will the Mets be competitive?
No.
Yeah, good. No.
No. The Mets aren't going to be competitive. The Mets are going to implode. Their clubhouse is going to implode. They're going down.
Yeah. That's tough to hear.
That's my unbiased opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
For some reason, shockingly, I also share the same opinion.
Yeah,
no, I think the Mets are going to keep repeating the same mistakes. And just
what mistakes are they making?
Just not. It kind of seems like a chemistry thing almost. They just like you saw them run out of gas at the end of the season last year. They have all the talent, they have all the money.
Mm-hmm.
They just. I mean, we're talking about intangibles and unquantifiables, but they don't play winning baseball. Like I don't really know how else to put it other than that the Mets are the Mets.
Yeah.
If you put Bo Bichette on base 200 something times in front of Juan Soto and Lindor, that's a powerful offense.
Yeah,
powerful offense, right?
But they had the same thing last year with Alonso instead of Bichette.
Yeah.
And they still got shut out by the Marlins to end the season and missed the playoffs.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, they sure did.
I just saw the highlight again the other day.
Yeah.
Like that was crazy.
Yeah. I'm pretty bullish on the Giants. Partly this, I've been messing with times on base and things per game. You give me a bunch of guys that average over a hit a game and get on base 200 plus times in front of a guy like Devers, that's an MVP candidate there. That's a team that can compete. They got 6 guys who you can expect them to, if not get to 200, close approaching. I mean, I don't know if Matt Chapman will get there, but that's 6 guys getting on base. I mean, a lot. I mean, 6 times 2 is 1,200 times on base.
Yeah.
That's going to turn into some runs. And then you just got to survive the other 3 and then let, Logan Webb and the crew win some games for you. It's just not that many games to make up for them to be relevant for the playoffs.
Yeah. It's just, with them being in the same division as the Dodgers, it's hard to pick anybody else for the NL West other than the Dodgers.
For sure. Yeah. I do mean the wild card. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, but it's hard to imagine anybody else even being competitive when they're going to take
Right.
8 losses to LA maybe.
Well, I think the Padres are taking a step back, if not 2,
Mhm.
and I think the Diamondbacks aren't going to be now that Corbin Carroll's out for
Yeah.
at least. I'm just going to tell everybody honestly, hamate bone. That's 2 to 3 months,
Yeah.
and it's just he's not going to be back anytime soon, and it could easily be the All-Star break, because those sometimes you just got to go back and get that thing yanked out, So
Oh yeah, we were talking about the Mets. We didn't even mention Lindor did the same thing. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks as well.
Oh yeah.
It was Lindor, Carroll, and was it Gunnar Henderson? Or it was someone on the Orioles.
Yeah.
Jackson Holiday.
Yeah. That kid can't catch a break. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Big difference. Big difference when you lose those guys. Lindor's, an MVP grade bat that you're not going to have for whatever length of time. That's bad. More games, more good. If you have a guy like Lindor, we want more of those guys.
Yeah.
He does everything well. Michael and I were talking about him before the podcast, how much we like Lindor. Even though he's a Met, that's how much I liked him in Cleveland. I still like him even though he's a Met. Yeah, I have him as an obvious Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I have him as a future Hall of Famer right now. I'm just going to start referring to him as that. Who's playing right now? Who's an active Hall of Famer right now? Like who's basically done their job? Their resume is complete. They're just playing out the string now.
What do you think, Mike?
I think Judge, Harper, Stanton, Lindor. I think let's see who else we got. Verlander, Freeman,
Betts,
Skubal, Betts. I think Ohtani's there. I think Ohtani could retire tomorrow, and he's there.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
What about Aroldis Chapman and Kenley Jansen?
Oh yeah. I think both of them for sure. I'm trying to think of catchers. I can't think of.
Perez.
I think so.
I don't know about Perez.
Whether he deserves it or not, I think.
Yeah.
I
think that's a good caveat. I think he's going in. I don't know if he's. I don't know if I would consider him to be Hall of Fame caliber. But I do think he's going in. It turns out it actually doesn't matter what I think. It turns out what the voters. It matters what the voters think. So.
Yeah. Well, other guys that have
solely.
been considered great during this time is Real Muto, and he's not the player he was, but he's still playing. Is
Will
he Hall of
Smith.
Famer? Oh, Will Smith, I think is, if not already there, knocking on the door. Partly because he's got 3 rings, and if he had 4 in the next 2 or 3 years, it wouldn't surprise anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Stanton too, dude. I think Stanton.
Yeah.
I think Stanton retires tomorrow. I'd put him in the Hall of Fame, dude.
I saw someone on Twitter say he didn't think Stanton was close today. I'm like, I believe he's the active home run leader
by a lot.
He's 40. I think he's at 453. So I think he's 47 away from 500. I consider 500 to be automatic Hall of Fame, but even without that, I think if he retires tomorrow, he's in.
Yeah, I can't remember a guy with more aura at the plate. He just looks so menacing up there, dude. Since like Sheffield or Bonds, like he just looks like a home run.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this chart up. These of the active. Oh no, not of the active player. Of all the players who have 350 or more home runs, there's 105 of those guys. These are the only dudes here that hit a home run. Oh, you can't see the bottom one, but
he does have a shockingly low. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how many games, right? Like every 4 games, he's hitting a bomb, and look at the guys around him. That's really fucking good, and so somehow we're missing on Stanton, and he has to get to 500 to prove that he can hit home runs. Hasn't he done that?
Yeah. I think he's getting to 500 no matter what. But to me, I don't need him to get there in order to be Hall of Fame worthy. I think he's there right now. We didn't
hit another. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we also didn't say Soto, but that's another guy I'd say clear shoe in for the Hall for sure. 100%.
Yeah, and he's 28-6, right? 27 this year. That's crazy to say that about. But we said the same thing about Trout. When he got right around 27, he was basically considered a shoe-in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. One more thing on. Yeah, you said Harper, right?
Okay,
good. Yeah. Jose Ramirez, Manny Machado, all those 32-year-old guys. Trey Turner. Is Trey Turner there yet? Can he get there, or does he got to do more work?
Yeah. Dark horse.
Dark horse. All right, dark horse.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think
Love
Machado's
Phillies.
closer than Turner.
Yeah, no, I think Machado's in. What else does he have to do? Prove that he's a good ball player, good defender? I don't think he's done that.
Arenado's
Yeah.
probably getting him.
Arenado.
Yeah.
Yes. Goldschmidt.
Yep.
Oh, suck the teeth.
I don't know. I think Goldschmidt's kind of more borderline, but I think J-Ram's in for sure. Arenado,
Okay.
yeah.
Xander Bogaerts, if he keeps hitting, plays another 7 years. Doesn't seem like he's close, but he's kind of dark horsing himself right in there. He's in that same cohort of guys who are going to be 33 this year.
Wow, do you feel like he should be like 42?
Yeah, but he's not. He's got a fuckload of hits. Is he going to get to 3,000? I don't think so, but he's going to be one of those guys that's kind of like McCutchen, where you're like, God damn, look at those numbers, and you're kind of forced to deal with him. Not sexy at all, but consistent for a long time.
4-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, top 5 MVP. He's a 115 OPS plus, dude.
Yeah, he's sneaky, real sneaky.
Yeah, real sneaky. 1,800 hits.
Yeah,
Dang.
Chapman.
I'm seeing now with Goldschmidt that I can tell that recency bias with the Yankees has let me forget how good of a hitter he was, especially the first like 10 years or so. So yeah, I definitely put Goldschmidt in.
All right. Yeah, because if you put Votto in, Goldschmidt's got to go right next to him, because there's zero difference between those guys in terms of Hall of Faminess.
Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good word. Hall of Faminess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I wasn't comfortable putting Soto in, but you guys might have convinced me because he's so damn good.
Soto's going off.
Yeah. World Series MVP at like what, 19?
Yeah.
But Acuna's not in yet, right? He's got a little more work to do.
I don't think yet.
Yeah.
I think he's
full seasons.
Yeah.
Right?
He's 2 full seasons that he missed.
I mean, Stanton only has 5 full seasons.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I don't think Stanton was a shoo-in 2 years ago.
True.
I think that he's just shown he's like, hey, here I am. He took him a little longer to prove up.
Yeah.
Because of his absence.
Ronald Acuna has 5 All-Star games and 2 full seasons.
Yeah.
What a weird. I never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
And then if he just manages to stay regular healthy, his talent is there, right?
He's so good.
That's crazy.
I mean, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think that when he's healthy, he's one of the only guys that's in that same tier as Judge of like best outfielders in the game. I Judge 1, Acuna 2, Soto 3. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfair that some of these guys get tagged as like injury prone, because the same thing happened with Judge. Like you'd have the freak accident where he runs into the wall at Dodger Stadium and he's labeled injury prone. Like you can't. I don't think you can consider Acuna injury prone. He's just torn 2 ACLs. Like it's hard to. That's kind of just bad luck at that point.
Point of clarity. Judge was paying a cost when he ran into the fence because he promised Phil 2 home runs on ALS Day, and Mookie delivered those home runs, not Judge.
Oh, that's right.
And so Babe and Lou said, sit your ass down. It happened the very next day. I'm telling you. Me and Phil were on the field. We saw the whole thing happen. Phil, rest his soul. So that was not a random thing. That was designed by the Yankee gods that said, you will not deliver. you must hit the home runs. Yeah. And it's hilarious that Mookie Betts hits too. It's like,
yeah.
Oh gosh, come on, man. Anyhow, I love that story. I always try to sneak that in there. Who else is interesting? Gosh, do we care about pitchers enough? Do we talk about them for very long?
We haven't thus far. so maybe we should.
Yeah. All right. Who's interesting? I mean, Scooble, obviously.
Anyone
Oh,
the
man.
Rays sign. I always look at that.
Yeah.
When I'm picking fantasy sleepers.
Yeah.
Whoever the Rays picked up.
It's kind of like we were talking
They're
about
good at that.
earlier with the Dodgers. Like whoever the Rays are signing, pay attention to them.
Yeah. And then whoever was a Dodger that was a pitcher, don't touch that guy.
Yeah, yeah. If the Dodgers thought he was still going to be useful, he'd still be a Dodger.
Yeah. How about Brian Wu? He had a great year last year. I know it's hard to see Seattle players because the East Coast doesn't really see Seattle games, but guy was pretty damn good last year.
Can't remember the last time I saw a Seattle game probably since Griffey played.
Right. Yeah. They're just like in a black hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting to the age where when the games start at 9 and 10 o'clock, I'm kind of out.
Yeah. Let me know if I'm going to get an MLB package this year because I don't want to have an ESPN package to go along with it. That's the opposite of compelling. It's repelling for me.
I saw something about that. So to make sure I'm getting this right, you have to pay for ESPN and you have to separately pay for the MLB TV in order to access it. You have to subscribe to both because that's what I thought I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they put out a release and some posts that said it's not what you think, and then described what it was, and then it was what we thought. Unless you like go in and unsubscribe some things, and it's like, how about I just skip the first step and just don't subscribe? It's what I kind of took from it.
It seems like they're making it really difficult to access the product.
Yeah.
Pretty much all we want is them just to end the blackouts.
Yeah. I travel enough that
years.
I often can't see a game because I'm in the wrong place. And I'm like, but I paid for this, And yes, I could go get some kind of hocusy pocusy way to shroud my existence and everything. But again, I just want the service I paid for. I don't need to buy something else so that I can then get the thing I already paid for.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to pay for a VPN to access the thing you already paid for.
Right. It's like when my wireless provider tells me to use Wi-Fi in the house. And I'm like, no, motherfucker. I pay you for phone access.
Yeah.
Don't tell me to use my other service provider unless you want to give me money back 40% of the time. They're like, oh, no, hang on. We'll find a solution. But that's the same kind of thinking. Or it's my job to fix their shit.
You get games all over California blacked out?
I don't know how, like, when I do see games, I'm watching them on my laptop. So if you don't have the Dodger package and you don't have the right cable package, you cannot see a Dodger game unless you're like in a bar or something. So there's a company called Spectrum, and so everybody talks about the Dodger deal, but they don't talk about the fact that the vast majority of the market doesn't have that cable provider. So if you have any satellite or anything else, you have to at least go in and buy the Dodger package if you're able to buy it within that. So it's, they actually could be making more money if they had more access. But yeah, I probably won't buy the Dodger package because again, I have to get an ESPN thing as well. And I don't consume ESPN products.
Yeah, I don't know really either. But dude, going back 12, 13 years ago when I was living with my parents, they had like Dish. I was getting games. I'm in central Pennsylvania. I was getting games blacked out: Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New York.
So bad.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Just sell me the ads. Show me the ads. Pay for it. The other thing that's crazy about Major League Baseball TV, at least when I've watched it, is the ad hole is garbage. They show the same ads over, and it's like, is anybody able to sell an ad? It's awful. It's awful.
I'll see the same ad like 12 times watching a game. It's like I'm just sick of this ad. Or sometimes they'll just fill it with basically dead space where it just says like your events and commercial break, something like that.
Right. Yeah, they'll show a foot.
Yeah, that is better. It is better, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence that it's like if you can't figure out how to sell ads on baseball games.
Yeah. If you guys can't sell those ads, let me sell them. I'll sell them for you. Yeah, and it's a lot of PSAs. Hi, this is Justin Turner. Throw your mattress away at the mattress. Like, I don't need all that. I mean, I'm already going to ignore it, but now that I have to watch the same fucking PSA over and over again, it does drive me a little crazy.
It's not like the what was it, Bob Uecker from Miller Lite? Bob Uecker and who else? Mickey Mantle.
Oh my God, all of those commercials were great.
Mickey Mantle.
I mean, they had football players, they had pool players, they had everybody. I mean, comedians, Rodney Dangerfield, what's just one pin, Rodney Ben Davis? You just need one pin. And then doink, he hits the pin and it falls off. They were awesome. Yeah.
What's the one with Billy Martin and George Steinbrenner when he fires them and they're drinking Miller Lite?
Yeah. I think he fired him a couple of times.
He fired him
in
like
the
5
commercial, I think.
Oh, yeah, in the
Something
commercial,
like I think so. Yeah, they were hilarious. They had all kinds of good things. They got him Steve Miserock, who was a pool player, went out there. And, gosh, those things were so entertaining. Like you look forward to seeing those ads.
Imagine Billy Martin today, dude.
Yeah, is he a Hall of Famer?
I think so. I think he's a baseball genius.
Yeah.
But today, I mean, back then you could just be a virulent drunk and everyone's just like, yeah. Nowadays he'd be freaking in and out of rehab and he'd have a sex addiction and he'd be on freaking Rock of Love with Pete Rose or whatever,
Yeah. I can't leave this porn alone, man. I just love it so. Showing up at black guys, you don't know if he hit somebody, got hit a pole, you don't know what happened. But he wasn't.
I still let him manage my team.
Yeah, at least for a year.
Yeah, at least a year. I'll turn it around.
Yeah, it's crazy. He was great. Is Dave Roberts now?
Yeah. You brought that up, didn't you, Pete? There's not any Hall of Fame managers out there anymore except for Dave Roberts.
Yeah, and he's kind of throttled everybody else. Okay, yeah, of course. What's his name over in Texas? Bochy.
Oh yeah, Bochy's Hall of Famer. Yeah.
But other than that, who else is even going to have a shot? You're like, oh, I didn't win any World Series, but oh, okay, great. And his pace is unsustainable. His career winning percentage is like 600. You can't win that many games. He's going to shoot past 2,000 games in pretty short order here, based upon how the Dodgers are playing. If he doesn't get himself fired, so it's
at this point, I don't know what he'd have to do to get fired.
Yeah.
I also, to be fair, I also don't know. With the Dodgers lineup the way it's constructed, it looks like it would be hard to be a losing manager. It looks like it almost seems like you'd have to try to lose games if you were managing the Dodgers right now. That being said, it's still the back-to-back World Series, still very, very impressive.
Yeah.
The career winning percentage over 600, still super impressive.
Granted, I'm a Dodger guy, so I'm going to say this, but I think in 2024 he managed a team that had over 1,200. I think it was 1,200 days on the IL.
Wow.
Yeah, it's some kind of ridiculous number, right? Where he's managing 40-man pitching staffs. That can be easy or that can be hard. He's keeping the clubhouse together. He's talking to guys who are about to not get their season goal for innings, and still getting them. I still want to play baseball. So he's doing something that is working. I don't know. I mean, how many guys could manage that team? It seems easy because they got all that talent, but all that talent needs managing, and he seems to have built a club. Like Clayton Kershaw was saying, he's like, I hate the number thing. I'm an old style pitcher, but goddamn, these Dodgers are right about what I need to do.
Yeah.
And Dave convinced me. That's fucking incredible.
That's not something anybody can just do. If you can get a guy like Clayton Kershaw to change his mind about something.
Yeah. His approach is rock solid. Yeah.
An international roster there's never been a team with that many Japanese guys on it. There's never been a team with that many guys on it, period. He's kind of doing some unprecedented stuff on that end.
Yeah, you're managing a clubhouse that speaks 3 different languages.
At least.
Yeah. Several versions of Spanish.
Yeah.
And
it's
trying to keep that unit cohesive.
Yeah, under a lot of stress and a lot of innings too. Here's the other thing is that team gets worn out, especially 2 years back-to-back World Series. You're going to see more pitching injuries. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, they've played more baseball over the last 2 years than anybody else in the world because they've played the most baseball you can possibly play in a season, and they've done it back-to-back years.
Yeah.
I mean, their seasons have been like 185 games, 184-ish. I think they played 21, 22 playoff games each year. So like you're looking at 185 games a year plus spring training. They also, they opened the season overseas either either this past year or 2 years ago. Like there's a lot of they've played a lot of baseball, and there's a lot of pressure on them now as back-to-back champs.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot, right? They also have a lot of pitchers that are coming back, so I don't know how they're going to manage that. There's something like if the league wanted to do something to check up the Dodgers, it would be taking a hard look at how they manage the injury list and their recovery process. You don't want to rush any player back, but they seem to have a knack for getting like last year they got Snell and Glasnow and all those guys tightened up and ready to go. Ohtani in a very comfortable for them time frame, and they have all these young guys coming back, River Ryan, all these guys. Where are they going to put all these guys? And they seem to have a knack for finding a way to keep all that talent. And if they weren't able to do that, this would be a different conversation about what the Dodgers' advantage is.
Yeah.
And I'm a Dodger guy, and I'm like, there's no way that they are being honest with how they manage the roster,
Yeah, I don't hate the Dodgers. I think hating on the Dodgers is lame.
Yes.
I think the Phillies could take the Dodgers.
Right, that's the other thing, too. Like, let's not be cowards. Bring them on. Like, I want the motherfucking – we've talked about this, Brian. It's like having Larry Bow on your team. Like, I'll take Larry Bow on my team. That guy will do anything to win. I'll take my shot with Larry Bow at shortstop. I will.
Yeah. I think the Phillies can take the Dodgers. I don't think the Dodgers are unbeatable.
Mm-hmm. They're not. It's baseball. Anybody's beatable.
Yeah. So who's the surprise team then? Who's going to jump up and bring it back? Oh, I didn't see that coming.
I'm rooting for the White Sox. Hoping against all hope. I don't know. I always had a soft spot for the White Sox. WGN, you know what I mean? Yeah. Signed Murakami. I always liked him. I've been on to him for a couple of years, ever since he tied that home run record over there. I can't believe he signed there.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to do anything, but that division's wide open.
I was looking at Vargas, the guy they got from the Dodgers, and I'll be damned, like he's a pretty good player for him. The numbers, you have to look in the numbers in a certain way, but and Brian knows this. I'm really big on WPA by game. And when you see that, it's like, oh, he put up a very good, dangerous year for other teams. And so, you get him a little more help. And all of a sudden, you have 5 or 6 guys putting in MVP grade seasons, which is kind of what you have to do to be competitive. And they're not that far from that. So it's doesn't mean that they're going to compete, but the bones are there. The right things go into place. They catch a couple of breaks. It's like the A's. If the A's don't go on a 20-game skid, they're in playoff contention last year. If A's go 500 during that time.
Yeah. I think the A's could make the play. If you get Dark Horse to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I was at a soft spot for them, too. I'm rooting for them, too.
Yeah, with the city losing the team and everything, I want to see good things happen for that fan base.
Yeah. A's were always cool, man. Growing up, they had their only team with the white cleats.
Yeah.
Cool players.
Yeah.
They're scrappy. I always like the A's.
Yeah. Anything else sticking out for you guys? We've done this for an hour. I don't want to keep you guys all night, but it is fun talking baseball.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Luis Arias yet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We finally got a market price for Luis Arias's 1-year value.
Yeah.
12 million, yeah.
And
would you say that's an underpay or an overpay? I think I know what you'd say, Pete, but
I think it's brilliant. He wanted to play second base, and so that cost money. That cost him money to say, I want to play second base, right? And he's like, well, I want to prove up. So, it's not a pillow contract straight up, but it's all right, we'll take a shot at that. So, And of course I'd like a rise. Like, why wouldn't you want a guy that gets 1.2 hits a game? I don't know if you saw this, Michael, but I run some numbers on, how great hitters rate versus the average team in terms of hits.
Okay.
He's just like Gwynn and Freeman, and Rose is probably a little bit higher, but Rose is also the hit king of all time. Mm-hmm. But multiple hit games win games. And if you wanted to pick a guy to have a multi-hit game for you, he's
it's probably going to be him.
Yeah. I know folks hate that, but and he does pay a cost for not having big power, but he has enough power that if he has a 3-hit game, your team's going to win at a rate greater than what the team is winning at. And that's pretty damn good in my book. All right, I'll shut up about Arise. Let you guys talk about it.
I'm honestly more shocked. I know Suarez is getting a little old and stuff, but I was pretty shocked he only got 15 million. I think that's pretty good for Arias considering what Suarez got.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. I mean, I know he's got like what his bat speed was down and stuff and blah blah blah, but still, man, fucking 15 million.
Yeah,
you think someone would have taken a stab at him for more than that?
Yeah, he had a 126 OPS plus last year. Suarez did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
if you get
third baseman, it's
pretty good.
Yeah, if you get 10% fewer home runs, you at third base, you'd like be screaming your head off like yeah. Massive year. Even if he hit 35 home runs, how about Max Muncy? There's a guy that continues to just be relevant, man. He I thought the Dodgers were going to cut him loose a couple of years ago, but he became really relevant again. He's dangerous. I mean, he's hitting deep in the lineup, and just he has the ability to win 5 or 6 games on his own just when he gets hot.
Yeah, they really pieced him back together again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was toast too. And the Dodgers just rebuilt him kind of.
It used to be that when you were still good at 34 to 37 years old, there was suspect. It was what's going on here. Has that changed, or should that still be suspect?
No, I think they're pretty hardo on that on the PED stuff.
Okay.
I don't think that's really an issue anymore.
No, yeah, I don't think so.
No, okay. Would you be surprised if it wasn't that way? Would you be surprised if there was PEDs going on still?
I'd be pretty surprised.
Okay.
I'm sure someone's on them, but
how are these old men, baseball wise? How are they doing it? How is not Stanton, because he can barely stay on the field, but how is Judge doing this? How is Schwarber doing it? Now Schwarber's reverse splitting his career, so he fucks everything up, right? That's why he's hard to see.
It's weird. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, it's weird it's weird because historically, like as guys aged, their hits and stuff will go down, but their walks would start to go up, and their walk to strikeout ratio would get way better, and that's why they would keep themselves in the league by being more selective. Well, not everyone's got to be selective from the beginning, so it's kind of hard to tell. That was a good sign. A guy was going to age well if he's 33, and all of a sudden he starts walking a ton more because he has to. But now that really doesn't so much happen because you're already trying to do that. So it's hard to tell when a guy's going to age well or not. I
can wrap my head around we're better at seeing what a designed swing looks like so that you can work with what you got. You know, do you think does that make sense for you, Mike?
Yeah, it does. I think there's also been something kind of behind the scenes. I think the improvements in nutrition and strength and conditioning over the last 10, 20, 30 years has been absolutely incredible. And it's not, and I don't think that gets talked about enough with athletes, longevity. But yeah, having the ability to really design swings that are optimal for that player's particular body size, shape, and age. You can start making some of those trade-offs very intentionally as far as bat speed and swing length, to allow them to still stay competitive and still able to time the ball up at 34.
Yeah.
But I do think the strength, conditioning, and nutrition aspect plays a huge role. Like if you look at how guys were eating in the 70s versus how they're eating now, it's night and day. You don't really have guys that are smoking in the dugout anymore. You don't have guys sneaking hot dogs in between innings.
Yeah.
And I think that accounts for a lot of the longevity.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. There's a ton of that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to be a professional athlete, you really have to be you have to kind of take ownership of optimizing your body for performance in a way that you maybe didn't have to do 70 or 80 years ago, or even 30 or 40. Everybody's about fine tuning their nutrition, sleep, everything for optimal performance.
Has anyone looked into slumps? slumps look like now? Because that would make sense that they also can reduce the slump time because they can find the hitch in the swing or whatever.
I mean, it does make sense, but I don't know if there's so much of that that's just mental that you can't even fix from a mechanics perspective.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Like we've talked about it, like on a large scale, the mechanical things and your previous year's OPS and all these measurables about how hard and at what angle you hit the ball on a large scale, those are going to do a really good job of predicting how good of a ball player you're gonna be. But today in this game, in this plate appearance, it's just as much about like the argument you had with your wife last night.
Yeah.
That's going to play a bigger role in your performance today, this game, in that one plate appearance, than all the analytics, all the metrics, all the data. Like it's still so mental. And that's, I don't know. That's kind of the beauty of it. You're never going to completely optimize that part out of the game.
Sure. You can trim at the edges though.
Definitely.
And if there is something wrong, you can see it in terms of physical, right? And like, and maybe you've got an intercostal that's barking at you or something. Maybe you go on the injured list before it totally tears or whatever. So there's some of that as well. Have we seen Aaron Judge's best? He is, he's closer in age to Stanton than he is to, say, like Lindor, right? So,
yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think it's possible for Judge to improve on. I don't think he's going to have a better season than he did in 24.
Yeah, that was a great season.
Well, I think I'm looking up. I think it was he had a 1302 OPS. If I'm remembering that right, I think that's what let's see. No, he didn't. He had an 1159. I think I was thinking of like a subset of it. I don't know if he's gonna get better than that. I mean, this will be his age 34 season. This year.
Yeah, window's closing.
Yeah,
it is. He could have one of those declines like David Ortiz, though, where there's times where it's like he's done, and then you're like, oh nope, he's totally fine. It's crushing balls as far as he can. I don't want to bet against Judge, but we do have to be realistic about where he's at in his career. But
yeah, and at 34, you can perform pretty close to how you did it at 29, at 30, at 31. But once he's, you've only got 3 or 4 more years before you really start hitting the physical wall.
Right.
I'm curious to see like how his bat speed changes over these next couple of years.
Yeah.
Because usually when guys hit like, I think usually 34 is the when the drop off of swing speed really starts.
Yeah. And also the number of MVPs seasons drops off like a cliff. It's hard to be an MVP at 35 and older. Possible, but a lot of competition going for being that player. Yeah.
Yeah, and if the Yankees are going to keep Stanton, it's going to be a couple of years before Judge has the DH role open, or before they can move Judge to that full time. I don't see Stanton retiring after this next season. I think he's got at least 2 more in him.
I think he tries to hit another 100 home runs. I think he's far from being done.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see.
Yeah, you got to try. You got to try for 500 when you're that close.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hit 550 home runs, nobody'd be surprised. Like if he turned around and hit 35 next 2 seasons, you'd be like, it's Giancarlo Stanton. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Will Judge's elbow hold together?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm reasonably confident.
Yeah. He got that platelet-rich injection, if the reports are true, right? And that sometimes works. And it could also be that tomorrow he'll throw a ball and but look, he can get Tommy John and just go back to crushing baseballs because that's what dudes like Ohtani and him do. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
But it's also the Yankees, so I wouldn't be surprised if something bad happens. That's how the last couple Yankee seasons have gone injury wise. It's just the worst injury luck you can imagine. So
yeah. Did we see a new Grisham last year? Is this the new guy that he is?
I hope so. I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be as repeated. He had 47 homers?
Grisham?
34.
Okay.
Yeah.
34. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't as many as I was thinking.
But it was a big jump from a guy that never hit 20.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, that is kind of what the Yankees do. They get guys to sell out for power. And they're critiqued for it, but it clearly worked with Trent. So, gosh, I hope it sticks around.
They have been working for him for 100 years.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Do you guys
Is
think
Pete Alonso going to be a Hall of Famer? He's knocking on the door now, right? He's got to be close with all the power he's had and all the things he's done. Just apparently isn't done yet. So, what do you guys think? I'm not saying he's in, but
No, he's definitely not in. He's too young.
only has so much proven up to do.
Oh, he's 30.
I mean, he's got those 2 home run derby championships.
That's something. Yeah.
I like
Is
the
he the
Orioles,
leader
though,
of-
so
I think he's definitely border. I think he's kind of like Acuna, where it's like it's too early to tell.
Okay.
I think if he keeps this pace up for 8 or 9 more years, then I'd put him in there. But I don't think he's got the resume right now.
Okay.
looking kind of similar to Paul Konerko, being honest with you. In a lot of ways, I feel like.
Yeah.
Never higher than
He
MVP
didn't miss-
7.
He didn't miss
But
by
a
much.
5-time All-Star.
Yeah.
I think Konerko's a Hall of Famer. I'd put Paul Konerko in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
The only reason why I wouldn't is just because it's crowded at first base in the Hall already, and there's a lot of first basemen in line with him waiting to get in. That's the only reason why I would be like, ugh, I don't know. There's a lot of those dudes there.
Yeah.
And,
There are a lot of dudes there.
yeah. I'd rather see Dwight Evans get in than 3 more first basemen. And I don't know how many first basemen you got to put in, but we can all reel off 5 guys that have a legitimate case that are not even eligible to be voted on anymore because they didn't get in.
Maybe this is a discussion for another time, but I've never been a Dwight Evans guy.
No?
No.
Is it because you never saw him play? Is that what it is?
Maybe that
He
could
was-
be, but yeah, everyone loves him, but I'm not.
For whatever reason, Jim Rice was the guy that everybody had he had the allure, the shine, and only then, just so. But gosh, that right field and the way he played it, he was just so good. I don't know. I always think about this, like, what's the gap? Like, what did he not do? Was it not make the press happy? Like anything counts, right? I just don't know what else he needed to do because he, at least by WAR, is a standout. Should be in, but that wasn't good enough.
We saw that Bill Belichick did make the Football Hall of Fame on the first ballot, and that to me that kind of delegitimizes the voting process. I know it's a different sport, but it's like that same.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you wonder how much of it is just political and relationships, and like you said, making the press happy.
Yeah,
You ever read Bill James's book, The Politics of Glory?
I have not. No.
No.
it's good.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
book.
good. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the
It's all
reasons
about-
why I've looked
I'll
for
check that out.
numbers that denote value, because I don't want to be told that it's Ohtani, and if you think otherwise, you're an idiot. It's like, well, I just looked at the numbers, and here's what these guys did. And I'm a firm believer. I'm not picking on Ohtani because he's incredible, but there's several MVP caliber guys on his team.
Yeah.
And at some point, like, yeah, it's a good team. You hit a home run in the first inning. Awesome. They hit 4 home runs after you. Awesome. At some point, like it's tough to be the alpha on a team of alphas.
Yeah.
At least every game, Yeah.
Do y'all think? Okay. Do y'all think Cal Raleigh's 2026 is going to look more like his 2025 or more like his 2022, 3, 4? Like, do you think he's going to regress, or if he does? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I don't think that's sustainable.
Yeah, he's a catcher, and so he's one meaty-handed ball smash from like a broken wrist, or whatever. Dudes don't play that much catcher and do it for very long. It's and to be the front guy on a lineup. Okay, maybe Tony Pena can play forever, but that's not what Cal has to do.
Why wouldn't you move him at this point?
Yeah, I'd leave him right where he is.
I'd move him to first base.
He's a pretty good catcher.
He has 60 home runs to catcher, man. I'd get him the heck out of there. Personally,
he also might not be a very good first baseman.
Yeah, at least he's not gonna get hurt.
He gets squatted first.
Retired.
Yeah,
I mean he's definitely like 60 home runs puts him in the Hall of Fame conversation. Like he's definitely a meteoric rise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but man,
yeah,
it is hard to imagine that happening again this coming season.
It's hard to imagine him hitting 50. I could see him hitting 40, which would still be crazy for a catcher.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's just touching it 35 times a year, and playing 120 games, that's almost unheard of to do that. And I've talked about this, Brian. Like, there's just not that many catchers that survive. No. If you play 1,000 games, you're already in a really rare air for a catcher. Just not that many dudes can do it long enough.
It's like a lot of people don't realize the wear and tear they go through. Like people like, dude, Mike Piazza is the best hitting catcher by a mile. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like, and people just think it's like, what I mean? Oh, he didn't hit as good as Mike Piazza. Well, dude, Mike Piazza is like unbelievable.
Right.
Stands out as much from other catchers as anyone anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Cal Raleigh, I don't know. Could like you said, dude, he could get hurt, and that's what happens to catchers. That's why I'm surprised talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, we don't appreciate. I was having this brief conversation with an account on X too, and he didn't think Salvi Perez was even worth considering for the Hall of Fame. And it's like, well, playing catcher is harder than you realize. Even if you think it's hard, now go look at the numbers and be like, Jesus Christ, nobody survives that position. It's crazy how hard it is. I'm going to look the numbers up right now, and I'll just blow you guys' minds away. But it's crazy how hard it is. We just do this. You guys fill the blank here while I look this up.
It's almost like being if you're a catcher and you can be still a replacement level hitter in your age 34 season and still the primary catcher, like that by itself is very impressive. So to even be a decently good hitter, like as catchers age, for me, the bar for how good of a hitter they have to be in order to be impressive is very low. Like if you can just manage to be league average, that's super impressive when you're 34, 35. I think Perez is Perez 35 this year?
He's pretty old.
Something like that. Yeah. If you look at how many qualified seasons there are for catchers just in the last 20 years, you'd be also amazed at like, wow, that's not very many. It's a very tough. I mean, almost by default, if you have a backup catcher that plays on Sunday, you're starting to run out of qualified catchers by just that one day off a week. If like that's how hard that position is. It's like a hockey where you just can't play a full shift in hockey. I mean, a full game without getting off the ice fast all the time.
Yeah, I thought you were going for a hockey goalie because it's similar, and a lot of goalies don't play. They play like 3 out of 4 games or 4 out of 5. Like that, the teams don't ride. The best goalies may play like 60 games a year, 60 out of 82, I think, approximately. Yeah. I don't know hockey as well, so don't quote me on that.
Well, check this. This blows me away every time. Maybe it won't blow you guys away, but it blows me away. Since 1956, right? So what is that? 70 years? 70 years. Take a guess at how many catchers have played 1,500 games at catcher.
30.
Don't pick. Too high.
15?
It's 22.
Wow.
22. That's it. If you could memorize those guys right now during the show, we could know every single one of their names. That's how few.
Yeah, that's under 10 full seasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
1,500 games. Wow.
in 70 seasons.
70 seasons. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll read you their names real fast because there aren't that many of them. So it's Daryl Porter, Kurt Suzuki, Jorge Posada, Bill Freehan, Russell Martin, Brian McCann, Rick Dempsey, Mike Piazza, Johnny Bench, Ted Simmons, Lance Parrish, Benito Santiago, Jim Sundberg, Brzezinski, Osmus, Pena, Kendall Carter, Yadier Molina, Bob Boone, Carlton Fisk, and Yvonne Rodriguez. That's it. Those are your guys. And almost every single one of those guys is either a Hall of Famer or damn close to it.
Are there any active guys that are tracking to pass 1,500? I guess Perez probably is.
He's probably close. Let me look. I'll look that up right now. No, I can't do that here. I have to do it by hand. You guys calc while I look at this by hand here. Salvador Perez has 1,383.
Yeah, he's
okay.
There. Yeah. I love backup catchers. I love reading about backup catchers and their careers, and they're always coaching. They're always coaching somebody up. They're always in freaking Des Moines making somebody a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real Muto, 1,278.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Martin Maldonado, Christian Vasquez, James McCann, Travis Darnaud, Tucker Barnhart, Austin Hedges, Elias Diaz, Gary Sanchez. So all the way down to Gary, and we're kind of going here in order of games played. Gary has 664. And so the highest is Salvador with 1,383, and then it just falls by 100, and just all the way down to 607. Will Smith has played 639 games at catcher. That's how fucking hard catcher is, fellas.
Yeah.
Hard. Yeah. So what does that mean in terms of, there's Cullen put a number. 3. Cullen says 3. I forget what 3 was from. Thanks, Cullen.
I think he was guessing how many
3. Oh, good. That's a good guess.
How many catchers?
So what do we need to do about that with the Hall of Fame? If this artist catcher's not Hall of Fame capable, then is that what's happening?
I mean, I'm pro Jomar, pro Buster Posey, pro Yadier Molina. I'm pro Deacon McGuire, dude. That's how deep I go in the catcher game. Take it back.
I think you might have convinced me to be pro Salvi.
All right. That's good. Salvi is.
I mean, how's Bill Freehan not in the Hall of Fame?
I know, right? What does that guy have to do? Like, if we could strap up the laces on that guy, granted, he's not going to be very good today, but
no.
Yeah, because he's dead, everybody. But, what's that guy got to do? World Series, multi-time Gold Glove winner, stack of All-Star games. Not good enough, Bill. Fuck you. Die. Don't get in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, they did it to Buck O'Neill.
Yeah, catch harder. Yeah, Bill, Buck, pioneer harder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Catching's crazy hard, and I don't know what we do to fix that. Does Lance Parrish need to be in the Hall of Fame because he caught 1,820 games? Fuck, maybe. Yeah. We've done this for a long time. I know you guys have actual lives to go tend to, so I don't mind if we stop. But if there's anything else you guys want to chat about, let's do it.
Earned it.
Cullen cracked joke.
Nice.
All right. What do you got in closing, Michael? We'll give you the big screen here. What do you got?
I'm starting to get really excited for the season again. I always kind of, when baseball ends and football starts, I kind of go into football mode for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
But this past few weeks, watching all the news, seeing all the spring training highlights really starts to get me excited. It's always funny seeing the live BP stuff, because I'm like, our hitters are amazing, our pitchers suck, or the other way around. Like, I think it's gonna be an awesome season. I'm high on the Orioles, high on the Tigers. I'm kind of high on the Marlins as well. I think the Braves are going to be a little disappointing again. I'm sure the Yankees are going to find a way to be a disappointment as well. But it's going to be a great season. I'm excited. I think there's a chance Stanton hits 500. I mean, he only needs 47 this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could do it. So that's kind of my main, assuming no World Series wins for the Yankees this year, I'm kind of, if I could get one thing happen, I'd love to see Stanton hit 500 and really lock in that Hall of Fame spot. It's going to be a good season. I'm starting to get excited again. Haven't talked about the World Baseball Classic yet either, but that's going to be awesome as well. That's something I really haven't been following the rosters for at all, so I don't know. I don't even remember who I was playing for Team USA. That's something I don't really think about a whole lot, and then I see it on TV and I'll watch like every game religiously, and then not think about it again for 3 years. But I think they're doing a fantastic job with that. I love the one in 2023. Watching that Croatian or Czech electrician strike out Ohtani.
Yeah,
I saw that clip again recently, and it in hindsight, it's like Ohtani was good in 2023, 2022, around that time. Everybody knew how good he was, but now to know he's won back-to-back World Series, he's gotten somehow even better. To see that Czech dude striking him out with like 79-mile-an-hour fastballs is nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts, and it is possible. You can.
Yeah.
I mean, Sergio Romo had that little bullshit slider that just walked. I was calling him a cat burglar. He like walks up on the mound. And he's like, "I'm going to steal your shit. Hit this bullshit." And you're like, "God damn it!" Back with it. I mean, he just. Yeah.
It's like I don't know if that would play the 79-mile-an-hour fastball would play for a long time at the major league level, but it got the job done there. So. It's stuff like that. Like that's a guy who probably wouldn't crack a AA roster in America, and yet he was able to strike out a guy who's going to go on to be the undisputed best player in baseball for the next 3 years.
Yeah, he can't stop hitting the ball out of Dodger Stadium, right? But, put him up against the Croatian, the actual electrician and plumber guy.
Yeah, is the literal electrician. So it's those kind of moments that make the WBC so awesome. It's kind of like how in college football you get like those crazy upsets that there's no comparison to them at the NFL level, because every team there's only 32 teams. Some of them are going to be good, but every once in a while in college you get the 150th best team is going to beat the 11th overall team in football, and so that's to me that's one of my favorite things about the WBC is like there's a lot of parity in baseball. And you will see some of the crazy upsets. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Brian, what do you got?
Phillies are coming back. Bryce Harper's going to come back, be elite, maybe win a third MVP, maybe win his first World Series. Yeah. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Manfred doesn't put him in a ditch.
You guys got a good crowd now. Like your reputation has changed. San Diego too. Like where they show up when they show up, and it's great, and it's good to see that for you guys. I'd like to see Schwarber have that leadership role and get a win. Him and Harper, they deserve that. I think that'd be cool.
I really like Schwarber and Harper. Like I'm almost embarrassed to admit how much I like a lot of those Phillies guys.
Yeah.
I was really cheering for them against the Astros.
So they got that 3 of those guys who are now in the cohort of 33. They got Turner, Schwarber, and Harper are all the same age. They need to get Matt Chapman on that team. And somebody else. Yeah. And by the way, you have the best post, Michael. Every now and then, and I know Brian sees it too, you'll throw in something dry and quippy that is so perfect. So don't think that we're paying attention, man. And
don't think we're not laughing, dude.
I appreciate it.
It's super good. All right, and Cullen, thanks for watching. Come join us next time. I should have let you know ahead of time, but it's always good to have you there. Everybody else, also wonderful to have you around. We like to talk baseball. We're just chilling in the evening talking baseball. So anytime you want to come on, let me know. Hit me in DMs, and I'm glad to have you come on and talk baseball. As long as you can be chill. Like if you want to tell us we don't know ball, you want to be serious about that, no thanks. But if you want to be like a hard ass and be funny about it, okay, that's fine. But those are the rules. That's just don't be a dick. All right, everybody, we'll see you all later. I got a show for you tomorrow for sure. You guys will love it. I promise. Here we go.